Nerdrotic.com.
Gotta be noon somewhere. Yes, it does. Hey, how's it going? It's been a while since I live streamed solo, so I thought it was the time to do it, especially when it's Christmas Eve, I think. I'm in holiday mode, so I could give a crap. Interesting news. Besides the fact that this is Nerdrotic at Night, my name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com. I don't know if you guys remember a nooner from about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the infamous Tobey Maguire's Dick episode where we took up John Campia's challenge and we went in detail and tried to decipher the Dick Shadow. Age restricted. It got age restricted today. I don't know why. But that's on this channel. I think the re-upload is fine, and the members should be able to see it, considering I don't have many viewers who are under the age of 18, maybe 5 or 6, maybe a few more than female viewers, which is, hey, 7% now. It's creeping up. Hello, ladies. So, yeah, a lot to talk about. I just finished watching The Matrix Resurrections. My first thought is, specifically with the director, there's something missing there. I can't put my finger on it, nor would I want to put my finger on it, but there's something missing there. I try. So, yeah, I saw that, and I finished Witcher Season 2. They're going to be spoiler-free thoughts today because we're going to get into detail on The Witcher tomorrow morning with the lovely Mrs. Nerdrotic and the lovely Dan Vask. Oh, that's right. But we'll go over that. We can talk about some Spidey stuff and whatever the hell you guys want to talk about, really. We're just kind of chilling tonight. So... there is a couple articles I want to go over too. We had the Punisher logo controversy go down because they want to own conservatives or change it and take away his guns and make the logo even worse. And I mean, my first thoughts are, everyone can still just use the old logo. The old logo is iconic and it's not going anywhere. And the same goes for the red pill. You can try to take back the meme as much as you want. It's not going to work. It's owned, whether the creators of it like it or not. It's kind of like choosing your legacy, right? You can try all you want to have this great legacy at the end of your life, but life will choose that for you. Just ask Dan and Dave or Jar Jar Abrams or Kathleen Kennedy. After Spider-Man No Way Home, what if Han, Luke, and Leia were in not one, but 2 movies together? Imagine the possibilities. Imagine how much money the Disney trilogy would have made. Imagine how much better shape it would have been in. And I think this movie is more proof, not that we needed it, that Kathleen Kennedy and Jar Jar Abrams shouldn't make a creative decision for the rest of their lives. I mean, they shouldn't even be able to pick out like what goes on a birthday cake, what goes in their kitchen interior. They should be, there should be a law against it. Yet he got $500 million to so far do nothing over at Warner Brothers other than announce a bunch of shitty movies. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Thanks for waiting, everybody. I had to do a little pre-show prep. Let me make this a little smaller. That's what she said. Okay. Draco Argentinius, welcome to the show. FBI's here. Hey, there's a statute of limitations on everything I have done. All right. So, nada. Jennifer Sisko, Michael Quaid, the R, MVP, Max Field Von Priestley, sorry. Yellow Flash. It was awful, Gary. It was awful, Yellow Flash. It was freaking terrible. It was boring. It was so boring. Oh, leaping SJWs flying around. And what is her name? Jessica Henwick. She comes in to jack up more franchises. She was in The Force Awakens. She was one of the Sand Snakes in Game of Thrones. She was in that awful Iron Fist series where in Iron Fist Season 2, Iron Fist gives his powers to her because she's more worthy because she has tits. Yeah, it was awful. Another Gen 42. Hello and thank you. What's up, Red Gaze? How's it going, man? David Barlow, Purple Echo, Vincent Harris, Dandy Jandon, 322 Messenger, Chris Persia, the amazing Canadian wrench, Eric K, Master of Wrenches, Dario Sussman, Billy Badass, Snake Oiler. Oh, it makes me think of the Houston Oilers. That was such a better name than the Texans. And they had a better song, too. Craig Lee, what's up? M. Hampton, Tracy Wilborn. Hola. Hola, ¿cómo está? Bruce Wayne is here. I'm very sorry to hear about your parents, Mr. Wayne. Hopefully Warner Brothers won't kill them again. Goofball McDude, Betty Boop, Bob Smith, and just another red shirt is here with his wrench. Welcome to Nerdrotic at Night. I guess we could start with The Matrix. Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home seems to be the one good thing that we can just all cling to because everything else is just regular 2021 Hollywood dreck. The Matrix Resurrections tried to be high concept, but it's the most generic high concept I've ever seen. It was plain rap, high concept art. I know that probably is contradicting terms, but that's what it was. It was, let's be very clever and, again, I'm not going to get into too many spoilers, but they really dive into the meta thing, right? And it gets just boring because they don't do anything clever with it. It's meta, exposition, meta, some more exposition. Let's stand around and have some more exposition. Girl boss, exposition. This ridiculous, the ending is ridiculous. And pretty much everything everyone said about the ending was true. A little more egalitarian, a little more. But it was, and even that scene, and we'll go over the article, the scene where they try to reclaim the red pill by somehow owning Ben Shapiro, by having Doogie Howser say, facts don't care about your feelings. I don't think it means what you think it means. It's just, the left can't meme. And the left can't even joke anymore. Remember, the left used to have a great sense of humor, used to be very sarcastic in wonderful ways. This is back in the day. This is, George Carlin would certainly consider himself, he was left. But, there at least could be funny. Saturday Night Live back in the day. They're incapable of it. Chrissy Mayer put up a great tweet the other day. It's all the people who think they are the arbiter of jokes don't, and I'm paraphrasing, don't have a sense of humor. You can't really decide what is or what is not funny if you don't think anything is funny. By the way, almost everything is. Hell, there's, like I said, there's certain lines I won't even cross, but if other people cross them, that's fine. You're on your own. But other than about, I could think of 4 or 5 exceptions that I won't even get into, everything is funny. Shapiro can only own himself. Yeah, I know. Kyle Dunnigan does a great impression of him, by the way. As far as, it's just, God, I cringed when that happened. It was so bad. Keanu Reeves, I love him. I love the guy. It's one of his worst acting performances in a long time. And I like Keanu Reeves. Have we made this clear? Not a thespian. Not a ton of range with this guy. He's a good human being, and we want to support him, and I like him in a lot of things. But this is almost a throwback when Keanu Reeves, starred in The Matrix originally, and we saw this film coming out. Nobody took it seriously because of Keanu Reeves' previous films, and we just saw him, as that guy in Bill and Ted. That's it. And the guy from the MTV commercials. So we didn't take him seriously, and The Matrix is when we started taking him seriously. But it's because he was in a good movie. And repeat after me, Hollywood, there is only one Matrix film. There is only one Matrix film. And I'll give you the Animatrix, which is very good. Which is very, very good. But then, you know what happened? These things tend to happen. Success. Success can do strange things to people. Even if they absolutely earn it, which the Wachowskis did. The Wachowskis, prior to The Matrix, came out with a film that was very, very good, that has probably one of the most paused and rewound scenes in the history of cinema, Bound. But aside from the lesbian sex scene, it's a damn good movie. It's a good caper, and it's some of visually some of their best directing, and a lot of the stuff that you like visually from The Matrix, they did in Bound. Bound's a good movie. Matrix is a good movie. I like Speed Racer. It's trippy. It's weird, but I like it. And they had a lot to do with V for Vendetta. But after The Matrix, they got successful. They got access to a lot of money. And the Wachowskis they are artists. So they were given access to unlimited funds to partake in a lot of fun that artists, especially ones that hang out in San Francisco, like to partake in. And maybe they just had a little bit too much fun. I don't know. Maybe they weren't mentally ready for it. I don't know. But we all know what happens. And it's a case study of how to ruin a franchise. The Matrix had a limited budget. Everybody had to work together in one studio, and they worked more as a team, and they created this beautiful, wonderful, great movie. And then when they were given all that money and catering and their own trailers and stuff, it went to shit. And they even talk about that in the Matrix Special Edition DVDs. While I can appreciate the idea of like, hey, let's go meta, but when you have the writers coming out and saying, we are going to write a political allegory, a political story. And dude, I don't know about you, Yellow Flash, or anybody else who's out there in the chat. I didn't really pick up much of it because it was so convoluted and boring and very convoluted in the fact that they just throw so much exposition and they don't show you anything. There's gunfights and all that stuff, but as far as here's the plan to do this, to get here to there, it's just everybody telling you it. So it's kind of like CW Matrix meets Middle Age Matrix. And they set out to make fun of reboots and the corporate nature of reboots, and they ended up being the personification of it. And they could say, well, that's what we meant. Well, you still need to be good. I'll discuss it on Friday Night Tights, but I don't even have a desire to do a video review. I don't want to spend time watching the movie again and, wasting my time and Perry's time. By the way, Perry Chan just hit it out of the park in the last couple of videos for me. He's been very important to this channel over the last month or so because I'm getting ready to move, so I haven't had time to edit myself. I do, up until very recently, I did the lion's share of everything on this channel, like up to thumbnails and everything else. Perry's part of the team, by the way, and he's been doing great, like just leveled everything up. So, Perry. You don't want to laugh at your own jokes or anything, but when I saw my Spider-Man review, and he managed to mix in the Something Wong. I was laughing my ass off. Oh, because I didn't know he was going to do that. So that was great. That was freaking great. Also, man, I suck, and I think I'm streaming over him too right now. Oh well. Quarter Black Garrett is joining Nerdrotic. That's right. So we have rounded out our staff. We have 4 people on staff. One of them's my wife. She is the CFO. And then we have Quarter Black Garrett from Louder with Crowder, who is joining us. And he's going to be my everything dude as far as streams, setting up stuff on the channel. And I can't tell you how rare it is to find somebody who not only is a really cool, good person, trusting person, but knows a lot about YouTube. Worth their weight in gold. So welcome, Quarter Black Garrett. And of course, we also have Perry Chan and X-Ray Girl. A pretty diverse staff. Perry had to point that out. But unlike Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, that's it. I'm not going to bring it. I'm not into herding cats. So he's much better at it than I am. So that's it. That's the staff. So welcome, Quarter Black Garrett, to Nerdrotic. That's right. So excited about this. A lot of things going on for next year. The move has begun. First truck gets here next week. Whew. Oh, I can't wait to get out. And hopefully I get out before lockdowns happen in California. I'm sorry, Canada, by the way. Really sorry, Canada, that you're locked down. But on my way to Texas, here we go. Onwards and upwards. Quarter Black is going to be, just doing everything. He'll be kind of engineering live streams, taking a lot of work off my hands, which is great. He'll be participating in the live streams too. So yeah, you'll see his mug on the channel a lot, and I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. All right, so back to the Matrix. When you set out to when you call your shot on anything, it's tough. I mean, I've done it once in a while and failed most times. I called my shot. But when you go out there and say, we intend to do this, we intend to take the red pill back and be political, I mean, Hollywood's not going to get it. Spider-Man No Way Home is a lesson that Hollywood should learn. It's something that Hollywood should look to and try to emulate. And I don't mean the movie itself. It's what went into the movie, which was just passion for the character, respect for the lore, a good script, good directing, and your whole intention was to have everyone have a collective escapist experience en masse, as Tobey Maguire says, and have a good time. That's your job, Hollywood. That's when you're doing some good in the world. And if you do a lot more of that, you're going to make a lot more money and you'll be less divisive. I mean, nobody's expecting an apology for how much they've helped divide the country. And I wouldn't expect everybody to come back. I wouldn't blame you at all if you're just fucking done. That's normal, considering how much they even in this Matrix article, they say they hate you. I mean, if you have an R next to your name, if you identify as a conservative or a Republican, you're just a Nazi now to them. Or they'll call you fascist, or anything, because they don't really have an argument and they don't want to have a debate, because if they actually have one, then there would be an exchange of ideas, and they would have to, a lot of them would have to admit they were wrong about a lot of things, and they're just not built to handle that. That's a big problem in this country. Big problem in this country. So they just made a piece of crap, and then they released it in the second week after Spider-Man, and it's just going to be forgotten. This will be a trivia question in the matter of months, and people will go, oh, yeah, there was a Matrix 4. Yeah. You know, hey, Keanu looks good. Carrie-Anne Moss looks good. But it's missing all the other great elements. It's missing one of the Wachowskis. They didn't want anything to do with this. That should say enough right there. Fake Morpheus was terrible. It was utterly terrible. And yeah, and Jessica Henwick, or I think that's her name. I'm not sure, and I don't really care that much. She was in a lot of stuff 3 or 4 years ago, and I think this might be a holdover. Yeah, I mean, attractive young lady that they made just unattractive. And you know, she's got the same acting range as Keanu Reeves. A little less, actually, due to lack of experience. Due to lack of experience. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. The movie was, its worst crime is it's boring. It's boring. There is, as far as cringe wokeness goes, I would say there isn't the standout moment is probably at the end, which, you know, I'm going spoiler free here. But it's hard to catch because you don't care. That's the great thing about watching it on HBO Max was I could pause it and take a break because I found myself drifting. Like The Matrix was groundbreaking, and they tried to make this a meta thing, and then they just repeated the same stuff. There was nothing groundbreaking about this movie. It is the most generic shit you could put out there, and it was. They say something early on in the film, which I don't think is spoiling, which might be the case with this film, that they're gonna remake The Matrix, and Warner Brothers is gonna do it with or without you. So maybe that was the case here. And maybe somebody else should have taken a crack at it. No, it should just remain one movie, and we should probably have original stories at this point. But as we get another year of films making $400 million worldwide that cost $200 million to make and barely eking out a profit if they eke one out at all, you can't use excuses anymore. Maybe locked down governments, but you can't use the coof and fear as an excuse. People walked through their fears to make it to this film. Now, there's people that are scared out there. Don't get me wrong. There was that picture that was going around Twitter. A Yellow Flash did tweet it out, and I think Jeremy did too, of the lady with the mask that was taped to her face, and then another mask, and then a plastic thing over with surgical gloves on to get on a plane. And she had crazy eyes, like that woman who was on that TikTok who said, "You're the type of people we warned about." That kind of crazy eyes. Yeah. And I don't think they're ever coming back. John Talks made a very good video today with a montage of headlines, very stating that the real pandemic is going to be anxiety. And anxiety can actually lead to some pretty serious things, including dementia. Because if you have it too long, it's like stressing anything in your body. If you stress it too long, damage will be done. And that includes the brain with thoughts. And if they are, very negative and they're pushing these fear toxins all through your body, it's going to fuck up your brain. And I think the one thing I do is I'm not afraid. Unfortunately, a lot of people's fear is controlling our lives right now. My freedom doesn't give a fuck about your fear. By the way, also, Merry Christmas. I'm such in the holiday mode. It's nice. It's nice. And even though I've watched some crap, I haven't watched a Hawkeye season finale yet. I'm saving that. My review will be out next week. I've got 3 videos planned for next week. One of them's a doozy. See, here's me calling my shot. One of them's a doozy. Oh, hopefully it works. It could fail miserably, I guess, but one of them's a doozy. But Merry Christmas. I am very happy that I'm spending the holidays with my family. Got my brother-in-law in town. And it's nice to see here in San Diego anyway, nobody's giving a crap about a mask mandate. Like, nobody's enforcing it. I mean, nobody. It's very nice to see. John Connors for $10 says, Merry Christmas, Gary. Doogie Howser said, here are the things about feelings. They're so much easier to control than facts. I don't see how this owns the conservatives. Exactly. More like a confession through projection of how SJW Hollywood weaponizes feelings. Yeah, I totally, that's why I'm like, I don't think it means what you think it means. I also think that when they go on these interviews, they being the writers, the creators, the actors, the adult pretenders, they just fucking bullshit. And they talk to so many people and they lie. They lie all the time. They lie about the movie. They lie about little stories, and they're just trying to fill time and get out of there because it's an obligation to them. They're not really into, I'm sorry to break this to you, Access Media, but Keanu Reeves is not really into you in that 5 minutes he's connected to via live stream, or, they're leading you in like a cattle, like a line of cattle to sit down and ask him a few questions in front of a Matrix poster. He's not that into you. He's not going to remember you. He's not going to remember your name. So all of that shilling, all of that selling out and your loss of integrity and everything amounts to shit. You get to see a movie early. So what? Breaking news. I turned down the opportunity to see films early. I was offered it by one of the studios. They emailed me, just didn't email back. No, I don't care. I don't want screeners. I don't like strings. Don't like strings. Don't need them. I'll see them when they come out. It's fine. And Merry Christmas to you, John. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And the reason I have that, it was a cool opportunity, and I'm sure people are going, what? But I just, nah. I like going into the theater because when I saw Spider-Man No Way Home, that's why I go to movies. As much as some people from the Independent and Ryan Kinnell might not like cheering audiences, I do. That's why I like going to football games. I like being part of the crowd. I like being around people, like screaming my head off. It's fun. Same reason I like going to shows, or used to like going to shows. Enoch Maman for $10. Thank you, Inakmaman said, I saw, and this is on the donation side, circumventing YouTube. Thank you very much. I saw Spider-Man on Monday. My inner fanboy gave it a 10 out of 10. My inner pragmatist gave it a 7 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10. My analytic mind gave it an 8 out of 10, so we're close there. I compromised and gave it an 8 out of 10. There you go. Dafoe and Garfield were my favorite parts of the movie. I actually teared up during the movie. I'm a bit of a pussy. You kind of are, but that's okay. We'll let that one slide. I didn't tear up because I'm not a pussy. No. Those scenes were so good. The Andrew Garfield scene was so fucking good. So if you didn't feel a little verklempt, just a little bit, I'm not saying like, but you're like, that's cool. You know, that means you have a heart. You don't have a little Grinch-sized, Ryan Kinnell-sized heart who hates sunsets. I could just see Ryan strolling on a beach. There's a beautiful sunset, and he's like, fuck you. Once I saw an interview with a coked-up Amy Pascal, my hopes for Spider-Man No Way Home jumped tenfold. It was the drug-fueled days of Hollywood that brought us classics like Con Air, The Rock, and other fun films. Here's to Amy and her snowy mountain. Jester of Roanoke, I agree. Bring back coked up Hollywood. Somebody sent Amy Pascal another package from Colombia. She wasn't just coked up, in my opinion. There was some opiates going on there too. There's a lot of euphoria because coke brings the euphoria, but so does the oxycodone, and that stuff's the devil. Don't ever touch that. I don't care how much pain you're in. Just go get the Advil. Don't touch that shit. It was made for human beings to get addicted to it. Straight up. That's why Pfizer, you know, the company everybody loves right now, Pfizer, had to pay a record settlement of $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion. And it's killed more people than over the course of time. It's probably right around the number of people who have passed away from the COVID morbidities or whatever the hell they're called. And 100% more people than has died from Omicron, which is, I guess, 1 or 2 here locally in San Diego. Maybe 1. I don't know. I'm not a gynecologist, so don't ask me any questions about that. None of your business for $10 says Trinity, of course, had the shed the dreaded husband and children to free her mind because strong women or whatever. The message that I can firmly say fuck you to the Matrix in was having kids is just, it's exhausting and it's terrible. And you know what? I'm sure it is from the outside of the kind of people in Hollywood who, even though they're 50, they party like they're 25 and they still go to raves and talk about going to raves, unironically. I'm sure the thought of having children to these kind of people is awful. And raising them and stuff. And they talk about life fulfillment and all that. And it's like, fuck off. Yeah. Kids are just awful. And they make the kids look terrible. And, yeah, I'm sure. And honestly, I want people like that not to procreate. Don't. I'd rather have you not. Ivan Petrascu for $5 says, spending Christmas away from home in a hotel room. Oh no, my dad's girlfriend shipped me a living Christmas tree and cookies to have a better Xmas. That's awesome. Sounds like your dad's got a brilliant girlfriend there, Ivan. I'm sorry you have to spend it alone. That's kind of cool, though, that she did that. Hope she scored some points with you on that one. And make sure you keep her on your Christmas list because that is awfully kind. Yeah, I'll be live streaming today, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, and probably Christmas Day evening for all those folks who are spending it alone. We'll keep each other company. We'll keep each other company. Well, I did that last year, and it was a lot of fun. I have plenty of time to, I live stream a little bit, then I go spend time with the family. I'm taking it easy on Perry for the next couple of days and taking it easy on myself so Perry can enjoy some time. Because it's after Christmas, it's go time. It's go time. This is a Brick Zero for $5 New Zealand dollars. Says, so that's Biden's real problem. He's just overly stressed, anxious, and needs to calm down. Anxiety so anxiety also condensing stupid. Yes. Well, I think he was stupid from the beginning. If you went back in time to the first time that guy ran for president and said that this guy would be president someday, people would laugh you out of the room. I was talking to Nerdrotic Jr. about what are the worst times. He asked me what are the worst times I've lived in. And I'm like, that's hard to say. Because even in these times, I managed to have a good time. I'm not going to let things out of my control ruin my life and make every day a chore. Life is way too fucking short for that. And I think we human beings have a really good, a great ability to deal with it with humor, to deal with stress, but not everybody can do that. But I would say lockdowns are probably the worst thing I've experienced as far as what a government has done. Being in gas lines when I was a kid, that sucked too. But it probably sucked a lot more for my mom, who had to sit there for 5 hours to get gas. It was terrible. It was terrible. Dude, the Hawkeye finale pissed me off so much, so have fun. 5 picoseconds for 5 Canadian pesos. You're going to have to tell me how to pronounce your name someday. I have a feeling I'm not going to like it very much because it's pretty clear where it's going. It's pretty clear. And we're going to get 2% Kingpin. It was great seeing Daredevil. It was. Charlie Cox's Daredevil is one thing that didn't make my review was I was going to say outside of Charlie Cox's Daredevil, which I think is the most accurate superhero portrayal outside of Christopher Reeve's Superman, the most accurate portrayal of any comic book character in anything is J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Particularly in the Raimi films, but even in this one, seeing J.K. back was brilliant. The Matrix, The Witcher 2, the Hawkeye finale. Holy hell, I am literally sick of watching these. Thank God for No Way Home, or else I would have lost complete faith in humanity. Are you doing a Hawkeye review? Yes, I'm doing a part 2. And that's what I'm going to be working on over the weekend. I've got stuff to do, but that one will be done. It has to be done. I got such a good response on part 1. I have to do it. So, yeah, The Matrix, I don't score movies. I would not waste your time watching this on, thank you, Harley Dave. Wow. I'll get to that in just a moment. I would not waste your time watching The Matrix. I really wouldn't. Watch The Matrix. If you want to watch a Matrix film, watch The Matrix. It's got a pretty decent 4K disc. If you can afford it, or watch it on HBO Max or however you want to watch it, go watch The Matrix. Or something good. Go watch Spider-Man No Way Home again. Give Sony some more money. What's our total today? What is our total today? I think it's 700 million, right? Let's see. Oh, that's an old article. We checked yesterday, and it was creeping up at 700 million. So it's going to make $1 billion in a week and a half. So we got 367 million for Black Widow worldwide, 417 million for as puts it, Shang-Chi for worldwide, and what the Eternals had 400 million worldwide, so it's 800 million. It's 1 billion, 1.1 billion. So yeah, once Spider-Man No Way Home passes 1.1 billion, it passes the worldwide totals of all 3 MCU movies. Now, I never expected Shang-Chi or Black Widow or the Eternals to perform equal to a Spider-Man film. But based on what we've seen in the past, I mean, fracking Captain Marvel, the more you think about that, you just go, something's not right with our plane of existence in the multiverse. How Captain Marvel made that much money. It was all on basically Endgame hype and Infinity Saga hype. And that's why they drastically changed the sequel. And I don't give a crap what they say. I don't take what Disney says at face value. They changed it because they know the real data. And if they knew the real data, they wouldn't change. And they changed the name because they announced it as Captain Marvel 2. Why would they take the $1 billion hit of Captain Marvel and not only change the name of the film, add more people? Because they know Brie Larson isn't popular. As far as like Brie Larson, the person, I haven't talked about her in a long time. It sounds like she is come back to earth a little bit. When she first got the job, she thought she was the shit, and she found out she wasn't so much the shit. And now she's probably just trying to hang on to her job. And of course, they're not going to get rid of her because that would be a lot of egg on a lot of Kevin Feige's face. But she ain't good. She's not good. And that's why I love Spider-Man No Way Home in so many ways. It was a good movie, and it just blew narratives to absolute pieces. And you can see the Marvel stands running, making excuses. I know we're close. I know we hit the nail on the head when I start getting called just everything under the sun. I mean, everything. It's been hilarious. So it's like, ooh, man, how's that copium taste? That's what the kids call it. Honestly, I had to look it up at the Urban Dictionary to find out what it really meant. Or I could have asked my kids, but they weren't around at the time. The Grizzly, for $10, says its legacy will be a free bar tab on Wednesdays at local bar, along with a new Halo show, Total Honk Fest, and I love watching Wokeywood burn to the ground. Let them go out of business. The Grizzly, they will, because they're not going to get the message. We, all of us, the general populace, sent the message this weekend, loud and clear. This is what we want. So all of those, let's just call them what they are, simpletons out there that were calling me, and in turn you, by the way, all of you out there, istophobes, Yahtzees, fascist, insurrectionists, maybe erectionist, but not an insurrectionist. Our secret agenda. Our secret agenda. Shh. This is the mission statement of the highly organized Nerdrotic. We just want good movies that aren't filled with woke garbage. And we'll come back. Some sooner than others. And there's no way in hell that I'm convinced they're turning anything around. I need to see, like, I don't know, a couple of years of this shit. A couple of years of Spider-Man No Way Homes. And no, I'm not talking about films that are specifically, because there are films that are specifically political or documentaries. Not talking about that shit. We're talking about pop culture being used as a platform. Aaron Pipes for $5. I know most of you know that, but I have to say it to cover. Never mind. Well, I was basically the general autism of the internet. Nerd question 1. Since all of the enemies were fixed, does this mean Gwen Stacy is still alive? Did Doctor Strange spell affect everyone off-world? Here's how I think. Here's how I walk. I walked out of that movie going, there's a version of that, and this is what they said. There's a version of that character that did go back, see the error of their ways, and went on and had a happy ending. These aren't the exact characters from those movies. Because if you think about that, it would have taken a couple of hours to explain it. Now, I still think there's a way to explain that story that's a little less contrived and convenient. But listen, I bit. It's nostalgia done right. Usually I don't like this nostalgia, like Ready Player One. People love the book. I've never read the book. I just watched the movie, and I thought the movie was just a bunch of logos flying at me. The same goes for Space Jam 2. It just felt like a bunch of, like a commercial for Warner Brothers, Like this one, we brought 2 Spider-Man back who, face it, Sony did them wrong. Sony did Andrew Garfield wrong from the get-go by saddling him with they just needed Peter Parker to be different, and I don't know why. Oh, because they were dumb? Maybe it's when Amy Pascal, God, I hate to say this, sobered up. And Tobey Maguire was done wrong, and so was Sam Raimi. They absolutely deserved a Spider-Man 4 after Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 got a lot of shit. I was one of the people who was giving it shit, but I also defended fucking Sam Raimi. And I'm like, there's no way you should change this. What? It's still, Spider-Man 3 was still up until now, up until Spider-Man No Way Home, the most profitable, and it made the most money of all the Spider-Man films. And there are parts of it, like that movie starts out fine, and it goes off the rails. And listen, it gave us Bully Maguire. So it gave us some of the greatest memeing out there. I think they still should. I think you should get Sam Raimi, get Tobey Maguire, and get Kirsten Dunst and James Franco after his little confession today. I don't know. I got to read the article. He was sleeping with his students. Were his students were they over 18? It's not the most ethical thing in the world to do. But you're going to Hollywood, and you're going to take the James Franco acting class. I guess there's a lot of naivete in the world still. We might go in that article later. But that aside, get Willem Dafoe back or find a way to resurrect him back from that. Whatever. I don't know. But do Spider-Man 4. Do Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi, and you'll make another $1 billion. Easy. I think they're going to bring... I would very much like to see Tobey Maguire in a full movie, and now Andrew Garfield in a full movie. And now Sony holds all the cards because people want more Spider-Man. I love how, Marvel tagged the end of the movie with the Doctor Strange trailer going, remember our multiverse story? Remember our multiverse story? It ain't going to do what Spider-Man did. Because you had 3 Spider-Men, and there's not many characters around that could bring that kind of money. Nothing stands up to Spider-Man. Spider-Man, in the Marvel Universe, is the most popular character in the world. Anything short of bringing back Captain America and Iron Man, and they have to be in a lot of the movie, and you probably would have to keep them alive at this point, and they're not going to do that. I don't think that would still do it. I don't think that would be enough because they haven't been gone long enough. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. If they brought Tobey Maguire back within 5 years of Spider-Man 3, it wouldn't be the success it would be today. Now that everybody, has had time to see the nuance of everything and understand and appreciate like how much good they brought in the world, especially with Spider-Man 1 and 2. Remember, Spider-Man 1 beat a Star Wars movie. It outgrossed a Star Wars movie. That's unheard of. Joseph Benowitz for $20 says, "Hey, Gary, good luck on your move. I am in the process of making a move to Florida, leaving NYC. Good. Go to Florida. I know your struggle with the move. Enjoy holidays with your family." Thank you. We will. We want to get out of here. So it's not like usually moving sucks. It sucks, especially when you're a collector. When you're a collector, moving is a nightmare. So, I'm moving all my toys. No movers are touching my shit. So I have to move it. I'm looking forward to this one. So let's see if I can. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Harley Dave for $200. Harley, thank you. Just wait for the Omegatron variant. Hail Gary, the Grey Lord of the Fellowship. Hail Christmas. Buy something stupid. Have you noticed that we don't hear anything about people diagnosed with the old variants once the new ones are announced? Hail chat and hail Santa. That's right. Hail Santa. And happy birthday, Jesus. They did try to push an article, Harley, that the Delta and the Omicron could combine to make the Denomicron or the Amadelta or the BLT. I don't know. And you know who said that? CEO of Moderna. Yeah. So I think we should take everything the CEO of Moderna and Pfizer say at face value. Because why would they lie? They wouldn't lie to us. Thank you, Harley. That's very generous. I appreciate that. And Merry Christmas. We got John Gibson for $100. Thank you, John. Merry Christmas, Gary. You guys are awesome. To you and your family and the fellowship, thanks for all the hours of entertainment. Oh, my God. Thank you, guys. You entertain me. I was just talking to Melissa about this last night. This whole thing's surreal. It's weird. It's very weird. It's great. I'm grateful for it. I'm having time of my life. I just this is not a turn I was expecting in my life, which makes it that much better. So thank you, John Gibson. I appreciate you. Rusty Odin's in the chat. What's up, Odin? What's up, Odin? I'm making them all work Christmas Eve. They want to, though. I know they want to be there. They want to keep you company. And we're all going to discuss the spoilers of The Matrix and probably the end of Hawkeye. We were kind of chit-chatting with each other. Oh, my God. That's reminds. London fucking Breed is in The Matrix. If you don't know who London Breed is, she's the mayor of San Francisco. And The Matrix has this meta theme. Wow. A mayor who fucked up a city is in a movie that's fucking up a franchise. I saw her face. I'm like, no, that could not be her. But you know what? I'll never forget that see you next Tuesday's face ever. Because that's the bitch who shut everything down and destroyed my wife's business along with a lot of other businesses. Up to 60% of San Francisco's businesses died based on her shit, ignorant decisions. She is basically a paper pusher, an up-jumped paper pusher, and because she knew Willie Brown, part of the Willie Brown train, she was able to get in when was it Ed Lee? When Mayor Lee died, and then she was elected. And San Francisco's they have very interesting districting there. So city council seats can be elected. Somebody can get elected to our city council, their. Oh, it's so nice to say their city council with 5,000 votes. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. WG for $50. Gary. The only Matrix I recognize is John Matrix, loving father, role model, former employee of General Franklin Kirby, and a damn fine commando. Anyone you can throw in a pipe through a man and tell him to let off some steam is A-okay in my book, and I agree. We love WG. Nina Infinity says it all right there. Here, I'll circle that. Wait, let's get there. It is right there. She knows what she's talking about. Willie's dick has a lot of power in California, and it seeds a lot of power. I'm here all week. Try the veal. Is that guy still alive? He used to do like a little morning show. And you know what? When Willie was in office, like I didn't mind him because Willie liked to make money and he did shit like, made the city look better, got a stadium built. Like all the San Francisco has a bunch of power lines. They're not buried. They're like on, telephone poles and stuff. So it like makes everything look like shit. And he got rid of a lot of it. He did a lot of good until he left office, and then he did a lot of shit. He was also like the California Speaker of the House, and he was shit at that too. He's also crooked as the day is long. But fucking who isn't right now? I don't know. I respected Slick Willie's crookedness over Gavin Newsom's just pure douchiness. Sup, nerd. Why am I all of a sudden getting things from the future? That's so weird. I had to double take on that. I'm like, these dates say 12/23. It must be the, I think Streamlabs is using the world clock. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to the future. Sup, nerds, starting Friday, Christmas Eve, I will have 5 days off in a row. Oh, man, I'm going to, more applause. I love you. I love the applause button. Hope you don't mind. I love it. Fam is getting together for on the 27th so everyone can make it. Christmas is not canceled in Saskatchewan yet. Sick. And hey, Nuclear Winter Gamer for 10 Canadian pesos. Have a great Christmas. I remember those days where I was working at the auto parts place and I had to trade and finagle to get 5 days in a row off, which was like twice a year. I got that and appreciated it. This is for Quarter Black. Dude's the man. Also, for your move, I'm moving to, and I feel your back pain, buddy. Yeah, I know. It's just in time. Thank you, Goofball McDude. I'll give it all to Quarter Black for $4.99. Thank you. I appreciate it. Aaron Pipes for $5 says, oh, I read that one. Okay, I read that one. Hail, Sean here, Lurker. God bless the British Empire. God bless the British Empire. You guys are requiring passports now. And I guess in some cities here, it's passports and rapid tests, but they ran out of rapid tests. And you know why they ran out of rapid tests? You want to know why the blue cities and the blue states ran out of rapid tests? Because people were buying them and rapid testing like every fucking day. You don't need to rapid test every fucking day, you freaks. God. Oh my God, I'm going down to the grocery store. I better get a rapid test. Do you feel sick? You could still have it. You know, it's so weird. I'm just making a point here. It's really weird. It's really, really weird that a lot of people who have been vaccinated and who are boosted are also getting COVID. It's weird. In an unrelated statement, welcome to cold and flu season. Well. I'm going to go talk really fast and pretend to be smart while repeating myself 6 or 7 times and say I won the argument. My wife is a doctor. Ben, George Bush forever. Short Piro, the Grizzly for $20. Short Piro. Oh, Ben Shapiro. I think occasionally, I mean, he's a smart dude and he's also short. Is he shorter than Joe Rogan, though? That's the question. Occasionally, he makes very good points. I thought his Leaving California videos were very good. A bit too... how do I put this? A bit too rhino for me. Too rhino, especially leading up to 2016. Gonzalo Bergali for 75 Uruguayan pesos says Resurrections is not worth a second of viewing. It's not. It really isn't. Don't. Oh my, you guys are going crazy today. You guys are going crazy today. The Grizzly for $100. Merry Christmas to you and yours, my man. Hopefully you have a great one. I'm glad you're getting out of the blue hole. It really is. I'm getting out of mine, moving to DeSantis land. Thankfully, I never got the Florida hate. I come from Michigan, snows and rains constantly here. The Florida hate, you know, there's actually a reason behind the whole Florida man thing that I've heard. I don't know if this is, again, I heard it on the internet, so obviously it must be true, right? That it's easier to get access to criminal records there for the media. So that's why you get all the Florida man stuff. They have alligators. A lot of their state below sea level. These are things I have problems with. These are things I have problems with. I don't want to be walking through a puddle and have to deal with the fucking alligator. And you know, little ones can bite you too. And yes, I know there's rattlesnakes here. There's all kinds of shit here. And I know there's like fucking boars and stuff for pigs in Texas. And my God, there's a lot of roadkill in your state. I should say our state. I am now officially paying taxes in Texas, so I'm a Texan now, I guess. But no hate for Florida now. Florida is a very popular destination. People are moving. It is crazy how many people are moving to Florida and Texas. Like, we hear about it a lot, but when you go research the numbers, it's insane. It's an exodus. You know, there's a thing called a recidivism rate for a city, right? So it's people moving out, people moving in. San Francisco is down 38%. 38%. LA is down. California is down. The only city in California that's not down, San Diego. San Diego resisted being nuts for a long, long time. So I think it's got a while before it goes in the full raging, fucking socialist territory. And I don't know if it ever will with the military presence here, but, I don't know. There's 2 massive military bases here. There's Pendleton and the Navy. Hail, Gary, if the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, but Doctor Strange no longer holds the title, does that mean she is actually more powerful than Wong, but not Doctor Strange? I think she's more powerful than both of them because she has boobs. Now, Wanda Maximoff, at times, has been a very powerful mutant, level 5. There have been reasons for her powers going up and down. But originally, back when I was reading her, it was just zappity zap chaos magic. Okay. Most of the retcons that have gone on with Marvel, major retcons, have happened in the last 15 to 20 years. All right. And it's been the Jason Aarons of the world or the Mark Millars who come in and play. But, that's when they changed Black Panther. Like the Black Panther you saw in the movie is nothing like the Black Panther from the Kirby comic and from the comics in the 70s and 80s. Nothing like him at all. I like Scarlet Witch as a character. It's a character I've read for a long, long time. She was in the first comic book I ever read. Vision and Scarlet Witch were both in the first comic book I ever read. Marvel Team Up number 42, Spider-Man and Vision. They were in the 1500s fighting some evil pilgrim. And then she was in like the next one, and Doctor Doom shows up, and it's great. So I like her. I didn't mind Elizabeth Olsen's portrayal of her at all until we get to fucking WandaVision, and then like her just all, I know I made mistakes. It's like, oh my God. Everybody is writing. Whoever is writing women, and it's men and women doing this. They're writing women, and obviously the Hollywood perception of power is just being a fucking bitch or an asshole. People don't like that. And that's why they, what was endearing about fucking Spider-Man No Way Home? Andrew Garfield being nice. What made Zendaya so much fucking better in this movie than she was in the last 2? She acted like a human being. That's why. She wasn't, trying to be awkward, and they mixed in her awkwardness, but it was way more, natural in this film. And now we're taking a character that people generally liked, and now they don't like her. So we're regressing. Like fucking, they managed to de-emphasize the sexuality of fucking Scarlett Johansson. That's what Disney did. They de-emphasized the sexuality of Scarlett Johansson. And then she came out and like supported it and stuff. It's like, girl, you're a good actor. You are. But we all know why you're here. You're pretty. And you're going to really regret not using every opportunity you can to, like, we're not talking about walking around in a fucking thong. Okay. We're just walking around in a fucking superhero costume. You're going to regret it. You're going to regret it when you get to that age where you can't wear that superhero costume. You're going to go, man, I was so young and dumb, and I had a stick up my ass, and I was all worried about my personal integrity. It's like, you know what? You don't sacrifice your personal integrity by entertaining people. You do it by pissing them off. Chip Filiot. Hope I got that right. Oh, Gary, my man. How I find myself leaning on the fellowship, on you and your fellowship. It's our fellowship. Sorry, that's why I got caught up on that one. At this time, Christmas is a double-edged blade, so I'm grateful to have you, brother. Bless. Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for the $19.99. And it is for me too, because my pops passed away 5 days before Christmas. So I've always got that anniversary to pass right before I I get into Christmas, and I'm usually not in a good mood that day, you know? It gets better. I mean, it's been 21 years, my God. But yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yep. Gary, will you do a dedicated Witcher 2 season 2 review? Yes, I will. Stargate 404. It will take time though. It'll be a couple of weeks. Because I forgot I have to do Hawkeye. I'll tell you 2 of the 3 videos. The third video, I'm keeping it a secret. Keeping it a secret because this is one I'm actually gonna. It's one of the first videos I'm gonna like script. I don't script any of my videos, and it's gonna be a one-time deal. I'm not gonna script anything after this. No matter how well it does, I don't script my stuff. But this one will be scripted. So we're doing Hawkeye review. We're doing a San Francisco goodbye, and then Witcher 2 review, and then Picard has to get out before Picard. So yes, we're going to talk about it in length tomorrow as well. Stargate 404 with Dan Vask and Mrs. Nerdrotic. There was some serious cringe. Siri, you're extraordinary. Made me involuntarily roll my eyes. They rolled out the back of my head, fell out my ears, went down the street, and then came back and rolled again. And that wasn't the only time the Geralt stops and goes, "You're really amazing, Siri. Siri, you don't know how amazing you are." Do you want to know what signature SJW or fanfic or just garbage, overall garbage writing is? Over affirmation, over praise. You know, Siri's running around and screaming and knocking down monoliths. I got it. She's powerful. But you're trying to convince us that Geralt cares for her so much, then show us. And there were some decent bonding moments. There was also some cringe. I didn't like their portrayal of the Witchers overall. Eskil gets fucked over. Vesemir, I hate what they did to Vesemir. It's fucking Henry's awesome. Henry's great. And I feel bad. Henry Cavill was born in the wrong era. He should be starring in fucking everything. And when he's in something, he should actually be in something. And right now he's being used as basically bait and switch. The Witcher, hate to break this to you, it's just as we thought. He's in about a third of the series, and it feels like a little less than he was in the first series. I like the first series. I did. Had flaws. Season 2 leans into those flaws, and they do a lot less of what made season 1 good. They introduced this the elf queen. I'm forgetting her name. Oh, I'm forgetting the elf's name now. Philip Vrand. Oh my God. I just watched it too. Of the Silver Towers. The guy of the Silver Towers. Philip Vandal. I forgot his name now. His girl is just what we were just talking about. Annoying leader. There was nothing endearing about her. She was just, I'm a leader. She has to remind. There's one of those scenes where she has to remind the men who's in charge. And then we have the girl bosses meeting up, and there's just girl bosses, and then the overall, and then of course, the Wild Hunt has a girl boss. It's a girl bad guy that they just fucking. We'll get there. It wasn't a departure from the books. They abandoned the books completely, and the books have that. The stuff is in there already. It's way, but the reason it's better is because they're written in an, I don't know, egalitarian style. Men and women are equal. And there isn't just this loathing of men. There's like this feminism that just poisons the show. So I'm not surprised. I got to double check like what the context was of what Henry said. But he said like, I hope season 3 is closer to the books. And he warned us a long time ago that this was going to happen. That Lauren Hisrich, who was the showrunner, who should be fired, who should absolutely be fired. She is fucking up this franchise. This is a franchise that could go 7 seasons. Easy. Easy. If you adapt the fucking books and adapt the game. And if you mix it in and you just, I don't know, put a lot of Witcher in the Witcher show, it's going to make a lot of men and women happy. Because the men and the women have the same complaint about this show. Oh, and dude, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but there's 2 characters they killed. Like, what the fuck? So they can give us more time with Fringilla. Oh, she puts me to sleep every time she's on screen. And I like fantasy. I want it to succeed. There's some great concepts in these books that the author doesn't even fully realize, but they could. And you know what the show wants to focus on? Yennefer. It should be called the Yennefer. And they basically give her a part of Spider-Man 2's plot, except it's the whole effing season. And this is the kind of thing that happens in Hollywood. Writer has a success. All of a sudden they see success as mandate. I'm the shit. All of my ideas are awesome. So they're sitting around and they're like, we can really show feminist empowerment, and we are going to have Yennefer. We're going to focus on Yennefer, but she's not going to have her powers. That was boring. It was really boring. It was really slow. And it's a huge missed opportunity, because this is something by all means should be good. It should be good, and they gave it to the wrong person. Netflix wanted to cast a showrunner who had some peripheral involvement and some involvement in Daredevil, which was season 3, which wasn't the best season. And it doesn't mean this person could write fantasy. And this person is using the fantasy for her personal messaging. That's not in the book. There's some stuff that's in the book, but then she amps it up. She gets her little feminist amplifier and amps it up. And it's CW. The dialogue was CW garbage at times. It was that bad. So if they want like high concept, a fantasy, they want, their own Game of Thrones, they need to get a better writer like now. They won't, but they do. If I was Henry, I would just pull I'm out. Unless we get something better. He seems like a pretty good team player. Netflix was really counting on The Witcher. They got a spin-off coming. Oh, guess what? You know who it stars? Michelle Yeoh. Who was in Star Trek? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I mean, she's been in fucking everything. And it didn't look interesting at all. But what they're going to find out is the same thing that the owners of the Terminator franchise found out, and the same, that's an Arnold Schwarzenegger franchise. The Witcher is a Henry Cavill franchise. Nobody gives a shit about Yennefer, freaking Ciri, or any of that stuff. They might like Ciri from the games, but this isn't the Ciri from the game. She's too old. I thought, Henry is really good as Geralt. He owns the part. It's his. It's everything around him. Even the armor looked better. Some of the effects were better when they had monsters, but they're not there that much. But they just really wanted. It seems like it doesn't seem like The Witcher is the Witcher's right. The Witcher Season 2 writer's least favorite character is The Witcher. And it really shows. Problem is, the audience favorite character is The Witcher.
But we want to see Frangilla and Elf Woman be friends. Because women can be friends. I want to see The Witcher kill fucking monsters. And Lauren Hisrich doesn't find that very interesting. Henry Cavill killed it as Geralt, and he acts his butt off in season 2 as a mixed bag. I respect Cavill because he respects the fans and our opinions, and I do too, Kyle Sanger, and I think he deserves better. There was an article in Bounding Into Comics today about Matthew Vaughn wanting to take on Superman. Now, this is not the first time he has said this. He has said this over and over and over again, and this goes back to my comic shop days when Mark Millar said he had just a straight-up great Superman concept and not typical Mark Millar work. It was a very traditional Superman as a hero story. Matthew Vaughn wanted to adapt it. He brought it to Warner Brothers, and they shot him down. Matthew Vaughn, by the way, if you want to watch a film besides Spider-Man No Way Home, you might want to see The Kingsman. I'm not sure, but Kingsmen is a great movie. I love that fucking movie, and it's directed by Matthew Vaughn. He also did X-Men First Class. He also did Kick-Ass. He also did a great film called Layer Cake. So Matthew Vaughn wants to do a Superman movie. I would say yes. I would say fucking yes, especially when he says, like, I want to do a traditional Superman movie as a hero, something inspirational. Fucking yes. That's what we need. We need inspirational and aspirational art more than ever. What you're probably going to get is a lot of end-of-the-world scenarios because Hollywood wants to buy into the fear porn and they want people to be fucking scared all the time because they have no imagination. That's why. Stargate 404, thank you for the $5. And Kyle Sanger, thank you for the $5. And what do we got here? We got Gragnock for $50. Thank you. Now I have an awesome new job. Oh, dude. You have an awesome new job, and thank you for wanting to go to work. Like, seriously. Hey, you want to help make the world a better place? This is what I'm doing. I don't want to tell you what to do, but this is what I'm doing. Not that I was an asshole to retail because I worked retail. I'm extra nice. I'm very thankful that, like, my coffee shop's open because they're closing shit early because they can't staff people. So I saw this kid working in the UPS store and had a little talk with them. And I'm like, hey, you're doing great. Just encourage people. Not over-encourage, but, be nice. That's all. Be nice and be patient. Especially if it's some kid who's like, it's his first day on the job or a kid that's working right now. How rare is it to see a kid working? We need that to happen. So he says, now I have an awesome new job, moving to a new town, and 2022 looks like things will only get better. Again, thank you, Gary, and the rest of the Friday Night Tights crew. Hail to the chat. And hail to you, Gragnock, and congratulations on the new job. Thank you. Another $50. Thank you, Gragnock. Wow. Thank you. Hail, Gary. Thank you for helping me get through this year. It started out with watching my mother pass away. Oh, no. In the ICU, then struggled to get interviews throughout the year. You and Friday Night Tights crew helped me keep my spirits up, making me laugh. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your mother. I am, but thank you, and I hope we made you smile. And I'm glad you got a job. And well, there's a lot of opportunities out there now, so I'm glad you nailed it down. And good luck. Go out and get that cheddar, Gragnock. Make your mom proud. I'm sure she would be. Okay, we got that one. Ooh, you guys are amazing today. So I went over The Witcher. went over The Witcher, and I'll get into detail next week. There's some stuff I liked. But remember the fight scene from the first episode from season 1? Like, something like that doesn't happen until the 6th episode. I shit you not. Like, Az talked about it on Real BBC. There's a whole episode where he's walking around a crack. Something they could have dealt with in 5 minutes. And I know Henry got injured on the set. You know what you do? You fucking wait for Henry. Henry is your show. See, the showrunner, I don't know if she doesn't want to understand that. I don't know if, but Henry's your show. You need to dial up the Henry. You know what? You could get rid of fucking Yennefer, and I don't think anyone would notice. They'd notice. They wouldn't care at this point if you just straight up got rid of her. Especially, you didn't need her this season. What the fuck did she do? Scream? Walk around? And like, there's things that you adapted that she did in the books that you left out that would have been more entertaining. Yeah, this writer is atrocious. I think she adapted a lot of the short stories in the first season, and I think having the season be out of order, I liked it, by the way. I think that helped, because now that I've seen one of her linear stories, they should go back to doing it out of order, or, I don't know, getting a new writer. The show's not going to get better with her in charge. It's just not. She is stuck in her ways. She wants to push the message and have just enough Henry to get you to watch. And she's adding all kinds of garbage that's not important to the overall story. They did some world building in this. And again, there's like a couple of characters who came in, like Dykstra. That was it was great. But yeah. There's one character who just walks in, and it took me a couple of episodes to even know who it was because they didn't mention her name. And I'm like, where did she come from? Who the fuck is this? We got another girl boss and another girl boss and another girl boss. Then they go to a library, and I'm like, oh, look, oh my God, it's a guy. It's a guy talking to a guy. But no, then he has to roll in a girl boss, which is it's so funny, dude. I was laughing. I was like, oh my God, Spider-Man No Way Home. We got guys fighting guys. Wow. That's different. That tells you how bad it is. And the thing is, if Hollywood was egalitarian, I wouldn't have a problem, but they're not. Buford T. Justice for $49.99. Thank you very much, Buford T. Justice. Gary, some dude in a wig is trying to take away my red pill. What Hollywood is doing to Henry Cavill should be a crime. It is. The dude should be, he is the biggest star in Hollywood right now, without a doubt. Without a doubt, he's the biggest star in Hollywood right now. He should be Bond immediately. The Witcher should 75% of The Witcher should have him on screen. Okay, 75%, not 30%, which is about, that's not an over-exaggeration, folks. 30% of the time he is on the screen. Maybe 33 and a third. There is a lot of Ciri, a lot of Yennefer, a lot of Fringilla, a lot of Filavandrel of the Silver Towers, who was way more interesting in his short scene in season 1 than he was in all of season 2, because he was just all, I'm here to support you, girl boss. I'll do whatever you need me to do. I mean, it was his wife too, but but he didn't, like, it took me a minute to figure that out, because he was treating her like girl boss, not like a husband. He was like a subservient. He was like the wife. But he's all, a wife from the 50s, the kind Ryan Kinnell likes. He was like, what can I do for you, girl boss? You are amazing, girl boss. I know. It's like some of the female writers in Hollywood are trying to exercise their demons through their writing. Maybe, I mean, because they must have been just fucking traumatized there. Like some of the men just must have been fucking horrible to them there. Which I don't doubt for 1 minute. And by the way, hasn't changed. People are horrible to people in Hollywood. And it's not just men being horrible to women. It's just people being horrible to people. Thank you, Buford T. Justice, for the $49.99. I appreciate it. Daniel for $5. Matrix sounds like a movie that comes out of a corporate committee meeting titled "Moving the Needle Outside the Paradigm Shifted Box." That's exactly. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yes. Oh. The guy playing Mr. It was. We'll get into the details on Friday. What they came in with high concepts and they delivered generic trash. Merry Christmas, sir. I love Spider-Man No Way Home. My favorite part was seeing Daredevil, says Michael Smith for $4.99. Ah, yes. The man without fear. Think about this is why Daredevil is my favorite hero right now. Because by all accounts, he shouldn't be a popular hero. But this is the power of writing. This is the power of capturing a generation. Daredevil, like every kid, 12 to 14 in the early 80s, knew who Daredevil was reading the Frank Miller comic books. It was huge. That's all we fucking talked about for about a year, right? I knew Daredevil was around, but I didn't even think about him. I was just like, he's blind. He's got kind of a cool suit, but he just fights the bad guy of the week. And then you take a customer. You take a villain like Bullseye, like this on the nose villain, and turn him into a fucking badass. And the stories didn't end with Frank Miller. No. The whole fucking 80s were pretty good with Daredevil. It's a good run. And then he comes back, and Brubaker had a good run with them as well. I didn't mind the Bendis run. I thought Bendis was at his best with him. Like Bendis and Mark Waid. I mean, they were good at one time. Mark Waid used to just be kind of generic comic book writer, like Kurt Busiek. He had a great Captain America run that didn't have a whiff of the fucking psychotic shit that, he puts in stuff now. Now, I've always thought the guy was a bit off, just seeing how he behaved at Comic-Cons, but I never thought he'd become this like nut. Oh, I did hear about his infamous incident at CrossGen where he punched a hole in the wall. Everybody heard about that. I saw Razor Fist tweeted out that CrossGen is better than anything Marvel or DC. CrossGen was pretty good. They were pretty good. It was a tough sell, though. It was no superhero. It was all fantasy. Let me refresh this. Hail, Gary. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family. So what's up for next year? Anything new and exciting with movies or gaming? Ask Kamel Abuhan. Next year. Peacemaker looks like it's probably going to be woke trash. And I was looking forward to it after Suicide Squad, but I really have a feeling it's going to be like fucking really woke. Hopefully not, and we'll find out. And that'll be the first thing I'm checking out. The Batman comes out in March, and that's probably the only movie I'm really looking forward to. I've dialed back my excitement with I love Sam Raimi, but knowing he's a company man, I have no faith in the MCU. I think the MCU is just deader than dead. I mean, Kevin Feige, all he has to do is look at Spider-Man No Way Home and you know what? Cast the Fantastic Four like they look in the comic books. There's no rule says you can't. It's bullshit. But he won't. What's coming up for next year for this channel? We got a Texas meetup. We got the Vegas meetup. And we've got the Orlando meetup. So those will probably be the 3 big meetups for the year. And the way it's going, I think the Texas one might be first. That one might be first. So we'll keep you up to date on that one. We also have a fucking killer guest. We have all our guests are great, but we got a killer guest coming in January. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks to X-Ray Girl. This Friday Night Tights, it's a Gundam and Mauler. Going to be fun. Pinga Smack for $5 says, hey, Gary, Kevin Smith is streaming right now, and you are outperforming him in views right now. Oh, am I? Sorry, Kevin. Yeah, well, try not to betray your audience. That would be the first thing I would do, is not betray the audience. Bobby Sharps for $5. Any reason to watch the new season of The Expanse? Just hanging in Idaho. Lived in Florida for 10 years. Lots of family in Texas and Florida. Idaho is a way better than either. Great weather in western Idaho. Not cold as eastern part. Yeah, I liked Idaho. But the houses were about the same as they were in Texas, and it snows up there. And Texas offered me I had more opportunities in Texas. There's definitely a reason. I mean, we could have moved to Tennessee, Florida, anywhere, Idaho. We chose Texas partially because I'm going to be near some people I know. We're going to be near Quarterback Garrett. We're going to be near a lot of other podcasters. It's kind of becoming podcast central, and that's why I gravitated over there. Feels like a good place to be. And I'm not going to live in Austin. I'll go visit Austin for a comic shop, but I have no interest in living in San Francisco too. But there, like Alex Jones is out there, Joe Rogan is out there, Eric July is out there, Quarterback Garrett's out there, Comics Division's out there. There's a lot of people out there. A lot of places out there. Check out horror memes on Instagram at Horror Fridge for $1. Thank you, Cody S. See, these have the right date. Bradley Burnett for $25. Thank you. People moving to Florida. Why would they do that? We got gators here. I almost stepped on one once while golfing. Also, hurricanes. Ryan's here now. Yeah, that's bad enough. No one should come to Florida. It's awful. Don't bring your politics. Is the reverse psychology working? I think so. I mean, Texans aren't going to believe me. It's going to take me a year probably to convince Texans. Like, I don't vote like a Californian. I never voted like a Cal. You'll like how I vote. Trust me. I will be the kind of guy you want there. I vote for freedom. I hate taxes. I vote for freedom. Hate taxes. Vote for freedom. And freedom. Voting for freedom means if you try to restrict my freedom, my anybody's gun rights, even though I don't have any right now, but I'm going to try to get those back. I will vote to protect that. And fuck that. You should be able to be as free as you want to be. I will be a good boy there. Okay. Jay Schwalbach, holy shit, for $151.50. Thank you. Quarter Black and you streaming at the same time. You can't split me like this. Employee meeting needs to know his place. Yeah, he should have stopped the minute. No, I didn't. I set the stream up already, and then I saw he was streaming. I was like, oh, fuck. I've never seen you in the moist hat. Vegas, you signed it. I gave Jeremy and RK big support on Tuesday. Now you. Oh, thank you, Jay Schwalbach. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I just didn't feel like doing my hair. So I just put on a hat. Dylan Briggs for $20 says, I hope and pray Hollywood doesn't get a hold of the Elder Scrolls franchise. I shudder at what they would do to a Netflix series. Yet Netflix shouldn't touch anything. Don't let Netflix touch a damn thing. Don't let them touch a damn thing. Susan Dolan for $5 says, Gary, do you think No Way Home will hit $1 billion before the New Year's Eve? Oh, God. Yes. $2 billion before the end of February. I think it'll hit $1 billion, I would say, by the weekend, right? Christmas Day? Where's it at now, chat? Anybody in the chat know? No, this is just a t-shirt. Steve GT Sexy Cell. Did Marvel really do a Geralt comic? No, this is a shirt I got. It's the Mage Comics group. You know who does do you want to know who does Witcher comics? Is Dark Horse. Dark Horse does Witcher comics, and they're very good. Dark Horse sold to some company I've never fucking heard of, and I can tell you right now, 756, 750, so about 750 million. Yeah, Susan, it's gonna hit it before Christmas. It's gonna hit it Friday. What it's got 250 million to go. No problem. It'll get it Friday. By the time we're on Friday Night Tights, we'll be announcing Spider-Man No Way Home as the $1 billion movie, the one single movie that eclipsed all three Marvel absolute triumphs. The one that actually sold movie tickets. So, yeah, Dark Horse sold to some gaming company. I forgot. Some group. Dark Horse was the best publisher to deal with as a retailer. They were lean. They were mean. They didn't put out a bunch of fucking shit. They were the third or fourth largest publisher of manga in the country. They also published Hellboy and BPRD, which are two of the fucking most solid comics out there, beginning to almost end. It's like reading a fantasy series. They're fucking great. Love Hellboy. Love Hellboy. I have every Hellboy comic ever made. And they did some great work with Star Wars back in the day, Alien versus Predator comics. They did a lot of adaptations, but yeah, I fucking love Dark Horse. And they started out with, in the early days, as Eclipse, right? Eclipse, Dark Horse, Pacific Comics. They got Rocketeer for a little while. So, yeah, and they were just like pure comics. That's all they were. They did some merchandising that was pretty decent. I think they got the Game of Thrones merchandising rights, and they just made some magnets when nobody else would do it. Yeah, I like Dark Horse. I am sad to see him sold. I am. But that's the state of my beloved comic industry, which is fucked. Prophet of Dragon for $20 says, Wheel of Time series is now so far from the books, I'm pretty sure they lied and never read them. Lord of the Rings show will probably have female wizards you never heard of before and queens of all nations. Merry Christmas, Gary. Yes. Galadriel will be wearing she'll be wearing a suit of armor, like men's armor. And the elven smiths of Eregion, will be, they'll be gay for Sauron, and that's why he'll seduce them. Yeah, it's just going to be a shit show. And we're going to have hobbits when there shouldn't be any hobbits. We're going to have wizards when there shouldn't be any fucking wizards. Shit. We'll get a female Gandalf. Why not? I watched the first episode of the new season. isn't it weird? Like last Christmas, we had nothing to watch. Remember? It was like we had The Mandalorian, and that was it. Now it's like I've got The Witcher, Expanse, Star Trek Discovery still to get to, Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home. I feel like I'm forgetting something. The Matrix came out. I think there's, and I still got to watch Christmas movies. There's just a lot of shit I got to watch. Az and I are going to do not a Christmas special, but we're going to do a special End of Time Part 1 and 2 stream. So keep an eye out for that. We'll let you know. Doctor Who End of Time Part 1 and 2 stream. We're going to do a special stream. I hope everybody enjoyed the Fellowship 20th anniversary stream. That was a lot of fun. It's over on Nerdrotic Live if you missed it. It's with the Critical Drinker and Mahler and Robert Meyer Burnett and just some guy, and we just gushed over Lord of the Rings for 5 hours. It was fucking fantastic. Got a lot of good feedback on that. So we're going to, we'll do it for Two Towers and we'll do it for Return of the King when that time rolls around. Things are not looking good for Lord of the Rings right now, as we all suspected. I mean, they basically came out and said it. It's like, we need Lord of the Rings to appeal to a giant global audience. And remember, Amazon Prime and Netflix, especially Amazon Prime, they're still fucking new at making shit. And every time we need to hear things from new perspectives and new voices, it means less people are going to watch. Because every time an individual writer writes something, no matter what his or her the color of their skin is, you're getting the individual experience. You're getting a unique experience. Just because two writers are white doesn't mean they think, look, act, or do anything alike. That is such a simpleton, retarded, and disingenuous point of view that's being pushed. It's being pushed by the activists and the pretty much empty-headed, fucking sharp as a boulder actors and creatives in Hollywood will lick it all up because they have some weird fucking guilt for being successful. Can't wait to have you in Texas. Hope to see you around in my area. San Antonio thought The Matrix Resurrection was DOA, and it is. And I will be in San Antonio. That's where I'm moving. Please invite actual Justice Warrior on FNT for 40, is that yen? Thank you, Nikhil. I will. I have to check them out first. I can't say I've heard of them, but I haven't seen any of their stuff. Yeah, Hollywood gets a hold of anything right now, it's fucked. Unless it's like Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn is not like this overly woke dude. I'm late to the show, so I don't know if you touched on it. I heard The Matrix compared itself to The Last Jedi and was wondering if you've seen The Matrix. Thanks, Gary, and have a Merry Christmas. Hunger Team for $10. I've seen it. I wouldn't compare it to The Last Jedi. It tries to subvert an expectation, but no, the simpleton reviewer for IGN or whatever was just trying to grab a headline. And if I said it in my Spider-Man review today, subversion doesn't make you cool. It doesn't make you intellectual. It doesn't make you artistic. It doesn't make you creative. It makes you a fucking hack. It makes you a hack. Anybody can subvert. Anybody can destroy. Create something from scratch, bitch. You're so creative. You're so talented. Create something from scratch. A Song of Ice and Fire isn't even created from scratch. He borrowed so fucking much from Tolkien and a lot of other people. Lovecraft. Glenn Hine, thank you for the $4.99. And it was interesting. It's okay. It's okay to play around with shit. When Watchmen came out, it was interesting. When A Song of Ice and Fire came out, it was interesting. When The Boys came out, it was interesting. It's been done to fucking death. Done to death. You know what? It wasn't interesting when you took the return of the hero of a generation and you shat all over it because I just wanted to do something not expected because I am cool. It was a hipster approach to Star Wars. And now they should be embarrassed. They should be fucking embarrassed. Bob Iger comes out like, oh, the things I'm proud of on his tweet. It's like things I'm proud of. Like, oh my God, I bought Star Wars and fucked it up. But it was all I bought. Here, I'll find the fucking tweet. Let's find that fucking tweet right now. Give me a second. How's West Side Story doing? Oh my God, this guy tweets like a fucking girl. Is it on here? Here, Nina Infinity. She tweeted about it, so I'll find it there. Where is my... It was a day or so ago. It was yesterday. God, they're bleeding into each other. There's Abu Nas. What's up? Oh, look, there's me. Thanks for retweeting me. I appreciate that. This is boring. Sorry. Oh, my gosh. She tweets a lot, too. Where's Bob Iger? There. Let's see if it comes up. I really want to show this tweet off. Unless it's gone. So it's him. There it is. Right there. Boom. Oh, it's Variety. That's why. Variety was doing that. Okay. Here we go. And see, this is what Garrett will be able to help me with. Oh, come on, you loser. There. Got the wrong window up, but that's cool. There it is. Boom. Okay, what is Bob Iger most proud of looking back on his 15 years at the helm of Disney? Making Black Panther is number one. I made a 7 out of 10 superhero movie, but what I'll give him, greatest marketing achievement in the history of mankind. You took an average movie that would, I think it still is, would probably be like a $4.99 in a bin for a Blu-ray a few years later, and you made it a cultural moment, and you made it sound like it was the first movie with black people, and you really pushed that, and it worked. You actually created it's like creating a viral video. That's something that you'll never be able to achieve again, but they did it. They did. So that was an achievement, but that was his marketing department. That wasn't Bob. Opening Shanghai Disneyland. Okay, whatever. Buying Lucasfilm, buying Pixar, buying Marvel. What did he innovate? Do you see any innovations there? No. So you destroyed 3 studios. Pixar's not what it was. Marvel is on a decline. And Lucasfilm is torched and going to have to muck around in its past probably till the end of time. I think there's little to no hope that Star Wars will be able to move into a future of some kind past the Skywalker saga. And they had one chance, and they fucked it up like monumentally. Again, Kathleen Kennedy, Jar Jar Abrams made the biggest cinematic mistake in history, which should bar them from creative decisions on anything for the rest of their lives. By not having Han, Luke, and Leia in a scene together, they should have been in movies together. Force Awakens, if The Force Awakens is about Han, Luke, and Leia, I wasn't joking. It makes $4 billion, $5 billion. It makes the craziest number you've ever seen. Go over the history. Remember, each film made about $500 million, close to $1 billion less than its previous. If you go back over the original trilogy, what happened is Star Wars came out, made a ton of money. Empire came out, didn't make as much money. Jedi came out, made more money, but not as much as Star Wars, but Star Wars was a phenomenon. You go to the prequels. Same thing happened, basically. First movie did great. Second movie, not so great. Third movie did better than the second movie. But when you see it going down, well, that's that. There's law of diminishing returns, and then there's you're losing people. So these are things they know. And that's why they had to lean into a Mandalorian and do something that wasn't as political, because they set out to make Star Wars political. Then they spent the next 3 years trying to rationalize that it's always been political when it wasn't. It sold toys. It was a fantasy movie in space. Bob Iger, the weatherman, is a hack. He's terrible. So go ahead and bring him back, because you know all the shit we're seeing this year. I know, like I get. Would I be surprised to see, like, to hear that Bob Chapek and Bob Iger don't like each other? No, that's pretty much fucking Hollywood. It's not going to change. You bring him back, nothing changes. All the shit we're saying this year, this dude greenlit. This is all his shit. As far as the hotel is concerned, I mean, that's a joke. Somebody should get fired for that. That's a fucking joke. But I think the symbolism of having Disney and Mickey have to have their back turned to him, not lost on me. But I don't care. I don't care about the interpolitics of Disney. Here is my speculation on Disney. If there's wholesale change in Hollywood, right? If people like, oh shit, if we make movies that are fun, that aren't filled with a bunch of fucking socialist Marxist bullshit, some Bolshevik bullshit, and we just like entertain people, and I don't know, maybe lean into the capitalism. God, I know my detractors out there are probably just, he said capitalism. Capitalism, baby. Lean into that, and wow, look at all the fucking money you can make, and look at all the people you make happy. And oh, I'm sorry, the SJWs, the people who are fucking upset about shit all the time, because that's their elixir. That's the elixir of failure, by the way, is always being resentful, and going after, just not trying to bring any change in the world, just talking about how fucking shitty we are all the time, which is fine. I don't care. But you change that, you bring some happiness in the world, and then you're good. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. But they won't be. No, we'll get for every Spider-Man No Way Home, there's going to be 50 Matrix 4s. Hawkeye finale of season 1. Loki. Black Widow. Eternals. They don't get it. So the red pill and the Punisher logo. It looks like they want to take back the red pill Matrix Resurrection writer reveal film seeks to reclaim the red pill after it was kidnapped by the right wing. No, God, they still don't see it, don't they? The right wing, okay. I'm about to state some obvious shit, so I apologize in advance. Time to state the obvious. Oh, I'm getting hungry. So let's nobody wants to deny any gay person, trans person existence. You exist. Nobody cares enough, to be honest with you. But nobody's denying your existence. Nobody's saying you can't be the movie. Nobody's saying you can't go work wherever the hell you want. Do whatever you want to do. I think there is some legitimate scientific information about women's sports and stuff. And maybe there's a compromise in there somewhere. Maybe you make a separate category for you guys. I think that would be the fair thing to do to women. Instead of competing with women, stop forcing people to go against science and just accept yourself. And don't have this insensate need to get our validation. Plus, I know it's not our validation you want. It's you want us to bend the knee. This is an assertion of power. So I can tell you definitively, I know you guys exist. I have no problem with you whatsoever, and nor does most of the world here, at least in this country and in Western European countries. Can't speak for fucking Saudi Arabia or anything else where they're throwing people off balconies, but you're really not concerned about your brothers and sisters over there very much. You're more concerned here where they're getting probably the most fair treatment that they're going to get. Different people always get pointed out. Since it's happened since there was the first different person, okay? This whole victim mentality, hopefully it's coming to an end soon because it's a plague on our country. Like I said, identify however the fuck you want. I don't care, and nor does anybody else. Stop forcing us to do shit. But I'm not going to do it anyway. So you can try in vain, whatever. But you exist. Nobody's denying your existence. You are very represented in Hollywood, and good for you. You fucking earned it, and I'm glad. Yes, you went through some horrible shit not that long ago. But we're moving towards better days. But now I see a new bigotry, and no, it's real. And anytime somebody might think differently than you on certain issues like taxation or whatever the I don't want to get into any deep issues here, but there are some deep ones that are personal, and there's some that are just basic. And that's what we need to agree on, is just the middle, building our roads, taxing, not going to war. That'd be one I'm for. Stuff like that. But you're part of the system now. You are the system now. You are the system now, and you're participating in a political bigotry that I see all of the time. In this article, you're going to see an example of it. And this person's a motherfucking bigot in every way. And listen, everybody is a little bit in certain ways. We're not angels here. Okay? We're not fucking angels here, but I think we all try to do our best. What we, the practitioners of common sense, need to do is stop being on the defensive. Just stop. You don't need to defend yourself. You're not a bigot. You're not a racist. You're not a Nazi. It's a ridiculous statement. So you don't have to say, no, I'm not, or don't worry about it. Just move on, because they do. Your opponent will do that to deflect, because they don't really have a counter argument, because they're lying. Because a lot of the socialists out there are fucking communists. That's what they want. They want to sit on their ass and they actually think that there is a system out there where they can sit at home and do whatever they want, and they won't have to rely on monetary reward. They'll be taken care of by the state. They actually think this. It's a surprising number of people who actually think this. Or they've got it rationalized in their mind that we're not coming after your property. I'm a Marxist who's not coming after your private property. Oh, really? Then you're not a Marxist. Because it's right there. Oh, no, it's still private property. It's just community private property. That's the language that the Marxists use. They would change language like that. Read it. I did. So according to Alexander Hemmon and David Mitchell, their motivations were to get the the fucking red pill back. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So they did. Here's the last part. Taking a turn to speak, Hemmon asserted, I concur. There is a bit of a... Oh, wait, I got to go. We're going to go. We're going to get right to the meat of the matter here. To first answer, Mitchell positioned, I suppose the short answer is yes. I don't see myself as a frontline fighter in the culture war, but if you also want your work to mean something, you got to have an ethical edge. An ethical edge, huh? I don't necessarily disagree with that. One of the many reasons I'm proud of Resurrections is it does have that. Oh, it really? It's ethical? What I'm trying to say is I think the film has integrity, and perhaps that's the source of the integrity. It doesn't have much. Integrity would require it to have some kind of depth. Like, it doesn't have any depth. It's a poorly written movie. Taking his turn to speak, Hemmon asserted, I concur. There's a bit of a difference between me and Mr. Mitchell's situation in that, well, he's a kinder person, so he doesn't get as angry as much, but largely because I live in the United States. The pit is kind of a warm space, declared Herman. The pit is a kind of warm space. We don't argue and get angry with each other, but I am infused with a need to confront some of the things that are taking place in this country. That is the case before and after. Okay, well, be specific. What are these things that you have a problem with? Is it a white supremacist nation? Are you going to say that? Are you just going to regurgitate what you've heard? He then clarified what we did is not to set out to get into arguments with right-wingers. I think at some point there was a joke about a red pill and a blue pill, and Lana decided that she did not want to give it any credence to the position, even as a semblance of dialogue with that. He recalled, there's nothing to talk about with that because they can't take it back. It's like having debates with creationists, Schikowitz replied. By inviting them to the podium, it's a tacit endorsement that the idea is up for debate. In conclusion to their discussion of the film's politics, Hemmon adamantly told Schikowitz, my personal position is I don't discuss things with Nazis and fascists. There's nothing to talk about, he maintained. One of us is just going to be left behind, and I think it will be me and my people. And your people. Who are your people? Let's see who this guy is. So basically, if you're Republican and you're conservative, you are a creationist. Oh, and that's the guy from the Audio Video Club who said that. Okay. So he filled in the blanks for them. So basically, if you're conservative, moderate, whatever, you don't even deserve to be at the table because they equate you to what they believe is a creationist. That's a really interesting way to shut people down. I am so right. I don't even need to talk to you. That's some dangerous fucking thought right there. See, me, when I roll out of the rack in the morning, I don't have anything figured out. I don't have jack shit. I know how to tie my shoes, know how to put on my pants. I don't know how my day's going to be. I don't think even my personal politics, I don't have them all worked out. It's a work in progress, and it'll probably be that way till the day I die. I am not convinced of anything. To be that convinced, that resolute, that adherent to the cult, that's, that's the problem we face right now. And there's nothing we can do or say to change that. They are going to have to find out on their own. Hopefully it's not through the failure of them actually getting their system and then having to live in it for a while and then realize, oh, fuck. It's what we're all trying to avoid. There's one thing they get right in the movie. All the sheep. They talk about all the sheep. And it was meant to be a dig, but no, there's a lot of allegorical stuff that you can apply to the COVID. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that everybody who worked on the Matrix are big supporters of the current administration. At least over the other administration. Some of them probably will be Bernie bros too, but, or Bernie babes. What is the other one? Bernie idiots? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully they grow up. Hollywood is in, for one, they don't believe half of this shit. They really don't. It's not an excuse for them. It actually is worse because they're so uninformed. But they get led into this shit by the access media who wants to be political about everything. This movie is a fucking nothing. I mean, it's not even worth getting worked up about. It has no impact on anything. It will be forgotten. Could have been something good and fun. And the writing is so bad, you don't even really get a lot of the political allegory, or it's so on the nose you just roll your eyes. But most of this shit is just like generic shooting at each other and redoing some of the same moves that they did 20 years ago. You know what? Line kung fu fighting was like the awesome and hip thing back from the mid 90s to the early 2000s. People don't give a shit about it anymore. So why don't you try to emulate something that people like now? You see, they just, yeah, it was so dumb. It was so dumb. All right, got to read some more, and then we got to get out because I got to eat. Okay. Oh, we don't need an article. We need the main. We need the chat. We need the chat. Chat. Hey, yeah, tomorrow morning, 10:30, and then I'm going to be on Witcher. We're going to talk about The Witcher, and then I'm going to join Drinker for a little while on Open Bar tomorrow as well. If you haven't, after this live stream, please go check out my latest video, my Spider-Man review, my Spider-Man No Way Home review. Malakot 63 for $20 says, "Hey Gary, last time I said hi Chew to you. You downed them all while you were doing the BBC." I know I did. Can't wait to send. So send me your new P.O. box when you get to Texas. Sending warm Christmas wishes to you and your family. Thank you. Yes, I love the Hi Chew. Hi Chew is good. Any reason to watch The Expanse? Bobby Sharps, based on, I saw the first episode, and based on what I heard from Nina Infinity yesterday when I spoke to her about The Expanse, no. There's only 6 more episodes, and it looks like they're going to leave you hanging about the protomolecule. They're not going to explain the protomolecule. It doesn't look like they are. They might do some special later on. Yeah. The Expanse is a huge missed opportunity, and it probably has a lot to do with the writers of the books being fucking idiots. Hey, Gary, Kevin Smith is... Oh, I read that one. Thank you. Bob Sharps for $3. I read that one, too. All right, so we're caught up on there. Boom. Let's get to some of these. 49. Here we go. Hang on. $49.99, something for the normies. He says, "Hey, Gary, you were right. Having a YouTube channel takes a lot of time. Still having fun, but I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of shows and live streams, which sucks. Glad I caught some of this. Have a Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon." Oh, yes. Yes. It takes a lot of time, but I still make the time to support, and I do it very quietly. But you support your friends with a click and a view. That's always helpful. And knowing what they're saying, like keeping an ear. Listen, you can't not. That's the conundrum. You got to read all the articles. You got to watch all the TV shows. And yes, you got to watch all the TV shows. That's why I watch that shit. I got to know what I'm talking about. I have to know what I'm talking about. So I watch the shows. I read the articles. I do the research. I also watch a lot of YouTube. Watching a lot of YouTube helps you stay in tune with YouTube. It's all finding the time, though. It's all finding that time. I can function on 5 hours sleep pretty well. That's the way I work it. Lenny of Tennessee, thank you for the $2 and the hippo super sticker there. Zach Boyles, the U.S. has the worst social safety net and also the craziest left in the West. I think we got out of balance a while back and never really recovered. You are correct. AJW exposes shitty TYT and AJW exposes shitty TYT and Chank's nephew with logic, says Nikhil for 40 yen. Thank you. Chank's nephew. Oh, okay. Dude, bro. Communism, socialism, dude, bro. Where are my noogies, bro? Wes Moody, webcast. One piece of advice for the SJWs. Life isn't fair. Get over it. Wes is correct. Thank you, Wes Moody. Go check out his channel for $5. Internalize it. Take it into your heart. Take it into your soul. Know this. From dusk till dawn, from the cradle to the grave, life isn't fair and it never will be. Bird up for $10. Remember those two guys who were on Good Morning America because they were in line for Attack of the Clones months before its release? This will never happen again. You are so right, Bird up. There will not be another franchise. You want to know why? There will be no other major franchise because of the corporatism. Bob Iger is not a creative person. Bob Iger is an empty suit. Bob Iger is an old weatherman. No George Lucas is out there. No old Spielbergs. No Gene Roddenberrys. They're gone. Bypass, shit. No George R. R. Martins. George R. R. Martin can't finish his shit. There can be another Tolkien. There can. But it's going to be from probably the independent sphere. And once the independent sphere is able to crack through, however they're going to crack through, the comic industry, this is what I worry about with the comic industry. The comic book industry, this little floppy thing right here that was showing on
Real BBC. This is, by the way, the greatest crossover ever. You can get your hands on this bad boy. It's fucking beautiful. What worries me about that is it's in this transition. The big two are kind of farting out. The lesser publishers are starting to fart out, and then we have this independent sphere that's got lots of people making a lot of stuff, but we're not seeing consistency. We're not seeing an independent book hit issue 5, much less hit issue 10, 20, and it's got to do that. It's not novels. If you're going to make it novels, then you need to make it graphic novels, and you need to do something as brilliant as Berserk. You need to do something that, like, this is where manga and anime just fucking destroy everything. They've got lots of stories, lots and lots and lots of stories. It's not just a little one-off. And more American kids are getting used to the art. As a matter of fact, there's a generation that's being raised on it now, and that's where I think that's what manga and anime have been waiting for a long, long time. Tough for me. It's tough for me. Reading those books a different way, tough for me, but I'm working my way through it, and I enjoy it. Some of it. I would like very much for the American comic book to survive, the superheroes. I don't think all the stories have been told, and unfortunately, the people who work in that industry aren't paid very well. So because they're not paid very well, they don't act very professional. And, you know, artists are artists. They tend to lean one way political. And what happened was the people who practice common sense, the conservatives, walked away from all of that shit. They walked away from education. They walked away from art. They walked away from entertainment. And look what we have from fucking walking away and blackpilling. So, like I said before, we have to infiltrate now. It's going to take years. It's going to take fucking years. And the independent sphere right now are going to be the groundbreakers, but they're probably not going to be the ones who get to reap all the rewards of consistent success. There will be successes, but this is just paving a way for something that's going to happen down the road probably. Doesn't mean you don't do it. Doesn't mean you don't try, because you could be the next Stan Lee, the next Jack Kirby, the next Tolkien. As long as you don't sell out to the corporation, which will be tough, because if you do something good, you make a couple of good comics, somebody comes your way, they option your book, and then say, let's hire you. And then they take all your ideas instead of you jumping without a net and going, nope, I'm going to do my own shit. Hey, Gary, did you see the good idea? Do you think it's a good idea to introduce Garfield's Spidey into Tom Hardy Venom, given they be able to write a good script? I don't like Tom Hardy's interpretation of Venom, and he's one of my favorite actors, but his Eddie Brock is just unlikable. It's just unlikable. And it's a goofy Venom and not like an evil Venom. I don't want to say Garfield, it needs to be he deserves something put in the right hands. I think there's a potential. If you go back and look at Venom, that looks kind of like, it looks like a mix between Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Garfield's Spider-Man, but it looks like Garfield's Spider-Man. And that Spider-Man murderer could be like they thought he killed Gwen Stacy. I don't know. Nerd Cookies, I think they're going to do it. I don't know if I like the idea. I'm not crazy about Tom Hardy's Venom. I wish he would really fix that performance, because it's bad. It's really bad. But I want to see Garfield in something really good. And it could be good. If they do like something with a bunch of symbiotes versus Spider-Man,
bring in Black Cat and Morbius. You can have all kinds of fun. Spoiler warning, why wasn't all of Venom sent back? Adam Croucher for $1.79. Good question. Why was he sent? Where was he sent back to? And was that sent back due to Doctor Strange and what Girl Loki did? And what Wanda did? I think it's going to be a combination of all three. I think it's going to be Doctor Strange's spell, or it might be something different. I don't know. It's getting kind of confusing, and more importantly, I'm not caring as much. Kelly Johnson for $2. Agree to disagree. Gary Galadriel versus Sauron was boss. Who said that was bad? Galadriel versus Sauron in The Hobbit? I didn't say that was bad. I like that scene. But Kelly, I'm talking about the Lord of the Rings show. Oh, maybe I didn't make myself clear. The Lord of the Rings show is about Galadriel. She is the star of the show. So she's going to be in fucking man's armor leading a female battalion of Numenorians. And the men will be in dresses in towers, and they'll need to be rescued. Subverting expectations. I am buying my husband a Geralt and Ciri statue, but I am not sure what I should be looking for as far as quality. I found some Dark Horse, but I'm not sure about its worth. Any recommendations? Tori for $10. There's a good Geralt I don't know if your husband will want this, but there's a good Dark Horse is pretty good. They're pretty good. The thing I got, you can't see it, is I've got the PC Collector's Edition that's got it's got a giant statue in there that's not very good. I would go with the Dark Horse one. You're fine with that one. Or you can also get, this is a Dark Horse. It's third party, but you can get this. This is from the game. Now, if you're looking for Witcher stuff, Dark Horse is your only choice right now. Tori. And they're okay. And yes, I'm playing the game very, 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 very soon because I need. I went back and I started reading Blood of Elves again. I mean, the writing isn't like top notch. It's not as good as George. He's not as good as a writer as George, but his concepts, his ideas are fucking great. And we were talking about the Thomas Covenant Chronicles, and I went ahead and got that on audiobook yesterday, and then I noticed that Elric is coming to Audible on February 22nd. And it's got something to do with Neil Gaiman and Michael Moorcock. So look for that. If you're an Audible fan, Elric is coming to Audible. So exciting. Thank you, Tori, for the $10. I hope I got to your question while you were still here. Vapor Knight 888, can we talk about how Carnage acted more like Venom? Should have in the new movie more than Venom did. They made Venom goofy. That's what I just said. Thank you for agreeing with me. I totally agree with you. Sensei Sharkbait. Hey, Gary and Nerdrotic family. Excited for this Christmas. First time for my son to spend it with his family. And I'll be in 4+ years family court drama. Oh, fuck. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Holy shit. It's going to be the best Christmas. Gary, thanks for being here for everybody. I have a long-term lead. I've been in a long-term LDR for 2 years, and I'm far away from home. Appreciate the company. Clark Terry fan. Oh, you're welcome, Clark Terry fan for $5. You are welcome. We got YetiCast says, with Spider-Man posting huge numbers, it's almost like people wanted escapism instead of having wokeness shoved down their throat. Merry Christmas. I know, right? Hey, Gary, didn't care much for Garfield and No Way Home, but with a tear in my eye, I got a chance to see Tobey Maguire in a Spider-Man film. I got a tattoo of Felicia Hardy on my arm. Chances of her in a film. Righteous Jamie, she won't look like Felicia Hardy. You know, a white girl with white hair who's smoking hot, who doesn't want to know Peter Parker and just wants to have sex with Spider-Man. I hope so, though. For your move, we need you here for the truth. Keep it up for nerddom. Says Nightmare Gamer for $5. Cheers. Thank you very much. It is an honor. Michael B, a.k.a. Shogun Gaming, thank you for the 14 Swedish krona. Hail, Gary. Merry Christmas to you and your family. That is from Full Metal Vash 7, who's been a member for 9 months. Then we got Gragnok, who's been a member for 5 months, says, Hail, Gary. Anonymous, a member for 7 months, says, Spider-Man was awesome. Been too long between good movies. It really fucking has. Going to be another long dry spell, I'm afraid. Woke took the big L this weekend. It did. Hail. Yeah, I think 3 more months. The Batman might be good. I hope it's good. For everybody out there, I hope it's good. I do. But I think we got a lot of shit coming up. I really do. So thanks everybody who's I'll get to a couple more, but then I really gotta get going. Frank Howell, who's been as a new member, welcome to the Proto-Molecule level, 7th Seeker. Says, my daughter rented a small theater and 20 of us, ages 1 to 65, saw Spider-Man together. It was awesome. Lots of cheering. Merry Christmas and hail. That is fucking brilliant. Your daughter's cool. Hail to your daughter, 7th Seeker. Damn it, I tried to do that. They wouldn't let me, so I bought 24 tickets. And we just had a row. And everybody had a good time. How fucking cool was that? So we got like members of the audience, went to a movie, then we went to a bar and hung out for 4 hours. Just standing around. Just for J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, it was perfect casting, Raimi and otherwise. Says Raymond Luxury Yacht for $10. Thank you. Sir Ubasan says, what do you think attracts fans based on escapism heaven? Escapist heaven. What do you think attracts fans based on escapist heaven with box office and score? Sonic 2 movie or Spider-Man No Way Home movie? Are you a retro gamer? I think Friday Night Tights is... Oh, the Friday Night Tights theme is hard not to hum. Thank you, Gary. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, Spider-Man No Way Home is going to destroy poor Sonic 2, but I'm glad there is a Sonic 2. And the reason there is a Sonic 2 is because the director did that simple thing, showed a little humility, just a smidge. And he was just nice. And he's like, you know what? We listen to you guys. And he didn't get all fucking butthurt because I'm sure people were going, fuck you, that fucking Sonic, you fucking suck, fuck. And you know what he didn't do? He didn't go, oh, he said the F word to me and he ruined my life. He just, he just ignored that and he saw that there was a lot of people who were upset, and then he focused it on, like, how can I fix this? And then he fixed it. Then he got a sequel. And again, there's a lesson, loud and fucking clear, and that movie didn't have a lot of clutter around it, so everybody got to see what the result was. And did anybody fucking learn anything? No, because the thing that will trump the message is their fucking brittle little egos. All right, I'll get the rest in a square. I'll read that. I'll try to do that tomorrow. But please tune in tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. Dan Vask, Mrs. Nerdrotic, yours truly. We're going to discuss The Witcher for about an hour and a half. Then I'm going to jump over to Open Bar with Critical Drinker. We'll talk a little more Spider-Man and I'm sure some Matrix. I'll be there for about an hour and a half. And then Friday Night Tights with It's a Gundam and Mahler. And I'll be there for longer than an hour and a half. So yeah, lots of live streaming ahead. So if anybody's like spending the weekend on the road, or if your family's out of town, or there's some fucking lame ass fucking restrictions or whatever, we got you covered here, at least for a couple of hours. I've spent holidays. I've spent them by myself. I've spent them in fucking prison. So I know what it feels like. It's not a fun feeling, but that's why live streaming is brilliant. And you have a lot of choices. And I thank you for choosing me. And I thank you for choosing this channel. So once again, welcome, Quarter Black Garrett. Welcome aboard, man. I'm so proud to have him. And don't get pissed at me, Steven Crowder. Not that I care, because he's mine now. We also have the great Perry Chan. We have the great X-Ray Girl and the great Mrs. Nerdrotic, who you will see tomorrow. I'd like to thank Eric K. I'd like to thank Jennifer Sisko. I'd like to thank Chris Persia and all the amazing mod rotics out there. Just another red shirt. Thank you for modding. Everyone who left a super chat and donation, I apologize. I cannot get to them all, but I need to eat and see my family. I will get to them in a square up, which will be out soon. Subscribe to Nerdrotic Live as well. That's where the square ups go. Occasionally I do them live. I think I'm going to do the next one live. For my members, there will be a member stream squeezed into the next 3 days as well. So keep an eye out for it. If you can't like participate, at least you could probably listen. Member streams are for the members. They're for the Gelogia members or higher. And I throw out a StreamYard link and you can all join me and ask me anything. And we just sit around, usually read articles and bullshit and have a good time. Once again, thanks to everyone and to you lurkers out there. Thank you very much for just lurking. I'm okay with that. And anybody who participated in the chat or took time to watch this show, I am grateful for all of you. And you know what? Spider-Man No Way Home was a huge positive thing, right? Not perfect. Didn't make everybody happy. Hell, I stick to what I say in the review, but I'm going to go watch it a third time because my kid demands it, for one. But like, hey, this is why we do this. This is what we're fighting for. I like this shit. I love this stuff. I would be, if they did this stuff right, I would be their biggest fucking fan. And they wouldn't have to shill for me. I would just be a fan. The best way to sell comic books, the easiest way to sell comic books in a comic book store, this is my secret sauce here. Talk about comic books. That's all I did. 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day when I was in there. All we talked about was comic books and what we loved. And that's what sells comic books. Because all the shit nerds get, all the shit you guys get, all the geeks and all the nerds, you know what you guys love to do the most? Share what you love. Mention the word anime or manga. You're going to have 30 people recommending you their favorite anime and manga story. Is that because they hate it? I think it's because they love it. And they want to share that love. They want to share that experience. And hell, that like, oh man, I might find somebody to talk about it with too. Like that's what we do. That's what we do. So thanks. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. No doubt this was nostalgia bait. No doubt this was jangling the keys. This time it works. The next 30 times it won't. Hope I'm wrong. But Spider-Man exposed Hollywood's bullshit fucking narrative of subversion is what people want, and fucking the box office was doing good, and woke is what people want. It's all a fucking lie. A lie that they wanted to believe. So we'll see if they learn the lesson or not. I know a lot of you have already, and that's the curse of being ahead of the curve. So until next time, may the wings of liberty never lose a feather, and not all who wander are lost. Merry Christmas, everyone. See you tomorrow morning. Ciao.
Nerdrotic.com.
This isn't cool, YouTube, you f***s. And then they'll just end it with "Rip Nerdaholic," and that's the end of it.
Yep.
We need reform.
Is that still in the TOS?
Nerdaholic.
Welcome, everybody. We couldn't be more thrilled to be starting the High Republic.
Don't like me, but I don't care what.
Because white guys are bad and black people are wonderful. Gay people are amazing and heteros can burn in hell.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dame, dame.